In the winter-shadowed streets of 1775 Boston, where the smell of smoke hung in the air and whispers of rebellion stirred every tavern, lived a boy named Samuel Reed. He was just 12 but already knew the world could be unfair. His father had died on a ship bringing paper from Philadelphia. His mother worked at the tavern near the docks. Samuel, thin and curious, spent his days helping at his uncle's print shop, folding newspapers and dodging ink spills. But his heart lived somewhere else entirely between the pages of books. Each afternoon, after finishing deliveries, he slipped into Mr. Whitmore's narrow bookstore on Milk Street. The old shop was more library than store, dusty, quiet, and filled with books most people feared to own. Mr. Whitmore had a rule: one book at a time. Return it wiser than before. Samuel obeyed. He read curled by the hearth or by candlelight in the shop's back room. Books taught him of Rome's fallen empire, of African kingdoms, of Galileo and the stars. But none changed him like one thin pamphlet, Common Sense by Thomas Paine. The words were loud in his head even when the world outside was silent. A government of our own is our natural right. Samuel felt something stir deep inside. Not anger, not hate, but belief that even a boy like him, with ink on his hands and no place in Parliament, mattered. Then came the crackdown. British soldiers patrolled the streets. The governor banned printing unpatriotic materials. Bookstores were raided. One morning, Samuel arrived to find Mr. Whitmore's door broken, shelves overturned. The books were gone. So was Mr. Whitmore. Samuel stood in the snow, fists clenched. The silence felt heavy, but his heart burned brighter than ever. That night, he returned, not to mourn but to act. By candlelight in the ruined shop, he gathered scraps from leftover papers, pages from forgotten books, and began to write. He copied quotes that stirred souls. He scribbled his own thoughts. Freedom begins when even the smallest voice speaks. He nailed his messages to fence posts, left them in baskets at bakeries, slipped them into church pews. Some were torn down by loyalists. Others were passed from hand to hand. No one knew the writer's name. They called him the paper rebel. And Samuel, he kept going. He read in secret to neighbors' children. He whispered truth in cellars and corners of barns. He believed that ideas were seed sand books, the soil. When the first shots of the revolution rang out at Lexington, Samuel was there, not with a musket, but with a book tucked under his coat. He knew this was the moment all the reading, all the learning had led to. He wasn't a soldier or a politician, but he helped spark something even greater, a generation that would never again be told not to think. Because in the end, he was just a boy who read a Dan that was enough to start a revolution.